There was no smoking gun. Sue Gray delivered a damp squib.
I'm afraid it's true. No smoking gun, no silver bullet, and Keir Starmer turned up with a water pistol. It was quite pathetic. I have to preface all of this, though, Dan, with the fact that there are people like the woman that was on earlier whose father had died. I couldn't go to 2 funerals during lockdown. I hated the rules, but... and there are a lot of people who will never forgive Boris because they personally suffered during that, and I totally understand that. But for the majority of people in this country, I believe that they just want an end to all this now. If you can seriously say that picture that you used before of Boris standing at the end of a table with a few delicious Marks and Spencer sandwiches and Rishi walking in with his jacket off, you know, if you really think that is enough to remove the most successful Prime Minister we've had...
This moment.
That is the picture. That is the picture. We held it up in the office this morning. I'm just going, I cannot believe that this is the thing you got fined for.
No wonder they didn't leak it, because it's not a smoking gun.
And it's orange juice and apple juice on the table. And anyway, I think that we've got to a point now where we have to all look at the evidence. You've read it, I've read it. I don't imagine that many of the Daily Mail readers will have to read it because they rely upon you and me to give them the information. But there was not a smoking gun in here. There was not something that can take Boris out. The people who hate Boris will continue to hate Boris. Labour had an own goal to really hit him hard. Keir Starmer is not capable of doing that. And he's still waiting for his own investigation from Durham Police, and they still haven't contacted the 2 guys who took the video of the party, of the Cormagate.
Adam, I lost a relative over the course of COVID who I was unable to visit before her death in a care home. Actually, none of us in the family could visit her for months and months and months. I find that disgusting, but I don't want to politicise the Partygate report with the stories of the traumas that we all went through. What I want, Adam, is for people to start speaking up against the rules.
Yep.
It was the rules that were wrong.
Exactly. I mean, Steve Baker tweeted only last week the restrictions were wrong. They were unscientific. We've proved that. Numerous experts have proved, you know, most of the restrictions were totally unnecessary.
And your business was hammered.
Right, my businesses were hammered. We're serving people outside freezing while, you know, so-called parties are going on.
Yeah.
I lost my nan during one of the last bits of lockdown. I snuck into a hospital to see my nan, to say goodbye. It was the last time I see her. And I don't regret that one bit. I broke the rules, I broke the law, whatever I did, but there was no way that I was not going to say goodbye. Yeah. Now, I think these pictures have put it on Keir Starmer because they look very similar to the situation that he's facing.
Indeed, which we're going to talk about actually later on in the show.
So, look, I just think we need... The viewers out there need to realise that these restrictions were totally wrong and in most cases totally unnecessary.
Actually, James, you think people still have a right to be upset with Boris Johnson?
Absolutely, and also he is the man who put these rules in place. I feel like I was one of the lucky ones, of course, but I lost my DJ career. I gave birth 3 days after the 3rd lockdown. I had to beg the hospital to allow my partner in until I was in established labour, which also meant I had to get a physical check.
Ridiculous.
I didn't want. So we are not debating... I feel angry that I followed the rules. From the 15th of March, when I first got a temperature, to mid-June or end of June, whenever the first lockdown lifted, I didn't see a soul apart from my partner who I lived with, who I feel lucky because I have friends who literally did not see a soul. And I'm shocked that you guys are saying there's no smoking guns in this report. I'm wondering if we have read the same report.